So, but yeah, there are men that appreciate healthy small titties. Did you not know that?
That gives me some hope.
I don't feel like you have small titties.
I
though.
do have small titties.
Really?
Yes. I think so.
What?
I don't have a dog in this fight, okay? I have the biggest cities in Wilmington.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I mean, it's always been a thing.
I've always wanted to do things with the titties
Like
intimately.
what?
And when you have small titties, you can't.
Like what?
Like what?
Yeah, like what are you talking about? By the way, we have started this Culture Misfits podcast.
I know you have, because you like this type of conversation.
Yes, I do.
At the beginning,
because I think it's very helpful. No, it's very helpful just because somebody that I recently met, she's very petite there. She's got little mosquito like bee sting, like there's not much there, and she's like, I think they're very sexy. And she's like, man, nobody ever likes them. I'm like, I like them, so.
That's actually very good.
That's good. But there's dudes out there that like them. So my argument is against like BBLs and all this stuff is that when you make yourself appealing to the masses, then you make it very hard. You increase the difficulty of you finding your person. Because like, I'll use me for an example. As someone who does not mind a small chested woman, if you were a small chested woman and I'm attracted to you, that's going to draw me in, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you go and you get your shit done, right?
Then I leave your.
I might not be paying attention to you like that. Meanwhile, the dudes that like that are not maybe for you, are going to be drawn to you.
That's
I know I didn't explain that for the best way.
No, I understand it. I get it.
So I believe in enhancing. No, is it accentuating, not enhancing?
So like a push-up bra.
Push-up bra is fine.
Or a padded bra.
No, that's enhanced. That's not accentuating. Well, if you don't want
bra and a padded bra are the same thing.
Are they?
Yeah.
I don't wear bras, so I don't know. I don't know these things. So
now you learned today.
I learned today here on the Culture Business Podcast. But yes, so there are guys out there that really enjoy women with small breasts. So there's an ass for every seat.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
So I encourage people to stay as close to how you are as possible.
They're just not here in the United States. They're in other countries, but it's okay. Or mine either died or he's in another country.
What? No,
it can feel like that sometimes,
doesn't it? Like, mine had to have passed away already.
You think?
Yeah, he died early.
Mine's married, waiting for the divorce.
That or that. I'm just someone's ready to file.
Your person? You really think your person?
Ready to file.
Yo,
seriously?
Print the documents. Come on.
Are you online dating? Are you no? Okay.
Online dating is
it's hard.
Horrible.
I know it's hard. It's hard.
Horrible.
It's hard. It's hard. But I mean, are you going out though?
I mean,
No.
I go out to certain events, like I'll go to like the wine festival in Philly or to the jazz festival in Maryland, or like those types of things. Am I going to clubs and stuff like that? No.
It doesn't have to be clubs.
But it's like different events.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really enjoy the events.
It doesn't have to be clubs. Okay. It doesn't, because I find that funny. The default response is like, do you go out to try to meet somebody? You're like, I don't go to clubs. It's like there's so many other places.
I know, but she listed all the other places because that's where I usually meet someone.
Like the wine festival.
Yeah, like the festivals. And it's always seasonal because that's another thing, right? Because of where we live. So these things are seasonal.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's also location because you don't see festivals in Delaware. So you have to go to DC, Maryland, or Philly. That's where all that's where all the festivals are.
Okay. How about just finding a couple of local bars?
No, I don't want to go to a bar and sit at a bar by myself.
But if you do it right, you won't be sitting there long. This is why I argue for the local bar. Someplace like I used to go to this spot, Jasmine's, on Tuesdays because I knew the bartender and it was the same people. It was like Cheers. You remember the show?
Yeah,
Cheers,
I remember Cheers.
Rell, because she's a baby.
Oh, yeah.
I know of it. I know the cultural reference.
Okay, there you go. But I met a lot of decent people there and got to know people. So maybe the first Tuesday I'm there, I don't talk to you. But the third Tuesday, by that time, we start having a little rapport. And maybe I bring somebody, you don't like me, but I bring my homie one time and you're like, oh, who's that, Brandon? It's putting you in a position where you can meet people and there's not a whole lot of pressure. Because if you don't see them, if you don't say anything this week, you'll see them. Maybe not next week or the week after, but they're going to be back. And people bring other people, and it's all like-minded. And that's cool because festivals, right, they only happen once. So like you see somebody, you got to shoot your shot there then because you're not going to see them again.
That's true.
Mhm.
So like I miss being in school because in school you had access to people and every semester was new opportunities.
Yes, very true. And then our lives just get revolved around work and the same people all the time.
Well, actually, I don't even think it's about work. It's so when everybody's in school, we're all on the same level, socioeconomically, time-wise, whatnot. But once you get out into the real world, people have they make different amounts of money. They have time is another thing. People are married, but in school, we're all the same, more or less. So, but yeah, once you start adulting, it gets very hard. But yeah, fine. Pick bars and places, restaurants that
Why
are.
don't you just bring your friends over here so that we can meet them?
Any friends. I don't.
Your profession is such a social profession.
And everybody thinks that I just am running the streets and my phone is blowing up and I don't have enough time for them. And meanwhile, I'm watching Chips reruns and editing fucking videos and doing mixes with my dry ass phone.
That's the thing that I hate. Someone's like, "Oh, why don't you try this? Whatever. Da, da, da. Why don't you try go to the bar?" And then I'm like, "Okay, da da da." And they're like, "Well, do you have anyone for me?" And they're like, "No, no." I'm like, exactly.
Well,
You don't like anybody that you know, even if you had someone.
I don't. But see, I personally do my own hunting.
You're a man. You have to.
No, there have been times when people have been like, "Yo, I know somebody. She's beautiful, and she got the great personality." And blah. And I'm like, "Really? Word? You sure?" And then I meet her, and it's like, womp, womp, womp. Like, no. Like, why would you? Like, yes, she's a nice person. Yes, she's attractive. I don't
Just
find
not
her
your
attractive.
type.
She's
right?
not your type.
That's why I feel like it's important to go do your own hunting.
Yeah, but we can't hunt. That like
Yeah,
that's
you can. You can. Well, all right. Well, you can start going to the club with me on the first Friday every month and start there. How about that? That'll be your social outlet. And you never know. You might get off of you're like, "I'm not gonna have sex in the club, Brandon." Be like, "Bro, I'll be back on in the back with the homie."
I don't know.
I'm going back. You just ain't desperate enough yet, or you just haven't met the person yet. You haven't met the person in that environment that makes you question
Definitely
your
not.
Definitely not.
because you've only been, but how many times have you been?
Just with you.
Just the once. Yes, just the one. Just the one.
Yeah.
And am I attractive to you?
You're very attractive.
Thank you. Am I a quality human being?
Yes, very quality.
Okay, so if an attractive quality human being such as myself can go to those spots, that I can't be the only one.
You're the minority.
But I still can't be the only one.
No,
right?
No, not the only one. No.
Okay, do you feel like you have good discernment?
Not really. I think that's where we need to work on. That's my problem.
Discernment. All right, so we have to do this by committee then. We go to the club, you meet somebody, you can bring them over, and we can give them the sniff test.
That's what I'm going to need, because I need some help in that room.
And that's what we need. We need some real, like, you know yourself. And you know your decisions are not good. Being truthful with yourself.
I am very truthful with myself.
Good. I mean, that's been my argument for years when people are like, "I don't want to meet anybody in the club." I'm like, but the club is made up of everyday people.
It is.
Right?
It is.
That's just,
it is.
It's just what it is. So yes, we can start going to the clubs the first Friday, the first Friday of every month, right? Just there. Not saying you have to meet anybody, but you at least can be in the environment and you can loosen the fuck up. I think that's what you need.
Also, probably I need that.
You need to loosen the fuck up.
I have too many inhibitions.
She does. And Rell's like, yeah. Rell's like, oh, are you going to come or no?
I'll think about it.
I mean, I know I do. So I'm honest with myself. At least I'm honest.
You are honest. And I think, and that is, we need to loosen up.
Yes, I definitely need to loosen up. I have already my judgments. I've already told you about my judgments. Yeah. I'm very judgmental.
You got to stop with that shit.
I think women are very judgmental, though.
Yeah,
men are not as judgmental.
You know what the problem with y'all and your judgmentalness is? You're either fully engaged in your judgment, and then like you'll just have a moment where you'll just throw it all away, and you'll just end up with the worst motherfucker. It's
and
like,
it doesn't make sense.
I know why it happens because you're alone, you get desperate, you're excessively horny, and you're like, this is as good as it's going to get for right now. Let me give him a chance because I've been too judgmental. And then you mess with Leroy, and Leroy ain't shit.
Leroy never did nothing to you, okay?
No. And then after Leroy has messed up your life, you go back to being super judgmental and scared again. Back up because you chose wrong, and you just have to learn how just not to be so judgmental. It's like discernment. It's just.
Well, you guys are more logical than us, so it's just weird. It's different. It's just different.
Yeah, we're gonna start going to the club. In fact, let's see. When is the next First Friday? So you can put this on your calendar.
March 1st.
Oh, you just pulling dates out your head. I'm gonna be
March
impressed
2nd?
if it's really March 1st. I am going to be. Holy shit! It is actually March 1st.
Yeah.
So you don't doubt my girl.
And that's only like 2.5 weeks away.
Right. So March 1st, we are going to do the First Friday thing. We're going to go to that club, and we're going to have a good time and just watch the freaks, have some drinks, dance, and just it being an environment where people don't give a fuck. Like they just really don't,
That is
and
true.
try to take that in.
There's a lot of people there who don't give a fuck.
I know, and every time I go, it's more and more.
Mhm.
It's more and more. This
It's
last
crazy.
time I went, I'm like, God damn! It was
packed?
9. It was 9:00 and it was packed, and people were fucking out in the open. Like this one dude was fucking with socks on and not slipping. I'm like, how do you do that? Like, I guess, like, are those some cheap Walmart socks or something?
You
Like,
must
how do
have
you
them from the hospital.
No, they were.
Those are grip socks.
With the grip
Grip socks from the
Yes. Man. Anyway, all
Put
right.
those in from the
Yes,
hospital.
I'm like waiting for him to slip because he was in all kinds of positions where I'm like, he about to bust his ass, and he never did. Like, I'm like, what kind of socks you got? But yeah. So anyway, this is the Culture Misfits. I am Brandon, aka DJ Silk, and to the right, me. Yes.
Is Rell.
All right, and to the left of me,
And I am Elsa.
Dr. Elsa, my homie, my ace. I'm gonna mess your life up. I'm gonna mess. Like, you remember when
You're
Elsa
gonna
said she
ruin
was
me.
never fucking the club and she was swinging from the thing last week? And I'm like, yeah, remember those days?
Rell's going to be right there with me.
What?
I don't
We'll
know.
see.
I mean, I could see it. No, she would be on the low. She'd be like, I'm gonna go use the bathroom, guys. And this. And then like 45 minutes later, she come back, close the shovel, talking about, I don't want to talk about it.
Oh my
I
God.
don't wanna talk
That's
about it.
hilarious.
Oh man.
Yeah. So anyway, we have a great show
Yes.
ahead for you. So I guess we'll do for the culture.
Mhm.
I guess I gotta do a real Black History fact because I messed up like the first episode of Black History Month. And I was like, it's Black History Month. So, but did you know that Black History Month started out as Negro History Week?
Yes.
You're supposed to say no. Like, really? My God.
We're educated.
Oh my God.
Keep going. Tell the people.
In 1926, Carter G. Woodson established Negro History Week, a celebration highlighting Black Americans' history, lives, and contributions. In 1976, Negro Week expanded to a month-long celebration we observe today. So he was a historian, African-American historian who graduated with a PhD from Harvard
Mm.
and founded the Association for the Study of African-American Life and History. The acronym ASALH, I need class, now leads nationwide Black History Month celebrations and establishes its themes. Now, I find it funny because people will always be like, man, Black History Month is the shortest month of the year. They set us up. And I was like, it's just so coincidence that it happened in February. Like, there was
Is there a reason why February?
there was some legitimate reason, but it wasn't like set by white people, like Black
Okay.
people. And I think it was in honor of something else. And I
Okay.
can't remember. I didn't dig deep. So yeah, man, happy Black History Month.
What I learned is that, well, you touched on it, but there's a theme every year. I didn't know that. And this year is Black art.
Is that for real?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm.
Well, I feel like you have shot a clock on here, but we have to roll the dice.
We do that before the topic.
Do we?
We did that last time.
Okay. Well, I guess we're going to shot it up, man. Huh.
Men never follow directions.
Well, I don't see it on here.
I forgot to put it on there, but
Okay, so
I've
how
noticed
can I
that.
not follow direction? How am I not following directions if it's not on the direction? All right.
you spun last time. It's Elsa.
Well, it's right in the camera.
Okay,
It's perfect.
Elsa spit in there. We're not getting
Okay.
stateside again.
Yeah, we are.
It's been hard.
Henny.
Oh.
I don't know if that's better.
No, it's not. Okay, so a little Henny. What are we doing this shot?
Fireball.
Well, you didn't spin right.
I know.
So
Henny's not bad though. Henny's still.
Do you have something to drink?
You mean like in his soda thing, his refrigerator?
yeah,
He
you
has
know that's
soda.
in there.
Can I have something?
She's
To wash it down?
Yeah. Last time I only had water.
yeah, she suffered. It was a hard thing for her. It was hard. Don't be spilling the Henny. That shit's expensive.
It is.
Anything is possible.
I had this wine yesterday. It was so good. I'm going to go buy it today.
What kind of?
It was a Moscato, blackberry Moscato, and the brand is XXL. Oh my
That's
goodness!
16%.
Oh my goodness! Let me
hard
tell
to find.
You, it was delicious. Really hard to find.
Yeah, because it's the wine is high in alcohol content.
Let me tell you, I'm hooked. Like I'm to the point where I need a whole case.
Well, can your dude hook us up?
I'll ask him. That's a good idea.
Yeah, she got to do.
I like the blackberry. Never had the mango. This is the first time I ever had it. So I have one.
Do you have something already?
Yeah, but
Oh,
well, you want more? You want it all?
I'm not. I never drink a whole soda.
Oh, well,
so.
you're definitely not going to waste.
I wouldn't
my shit.
waste it.
Thank you.
But I was just making sure you had something.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
I'm gonna be drinking tonight, so I have.
Oh, Super
I
Bowl.
had my burrito, so I can get ready.
Here we go. What are we drinking to? We're drinking to Elsa and loosening it up.
Loosening,
Loosening
letting
up
go of my
Elsa.
judgment.
Yes, letting go of your judgment.
No, just better discernment.
There
You're
you go.
right.
Better
really-
discernment. There we go. Mhm. Oof,
Smooth.
like sandpaper.
No, it's not.
I wasn't ready for it.
Henny's smooth.
Is it?
It's
Wow.
not that bad.
Mhm.
I went out to the bar after this event, and all the guys, they were like ordering sidecars. Oh, I can't even talk. they were like sidecars. You want something to drink? And I was like, no. And he ordered what I was already drinking, a margarita. And then they're like, sidecars, 5 sidecars here, 6 sidecars there. I was like, let me try what this is. So he gave me a sidecar. That thing is Henny. I don't know what else is in it, but I know Henny is in it.
You didn't like
That's
it?
it. Let's see.
I had hair. I still have hair on my chest from it. I'm like, oh my goodness.
I've never even heard of that.
Let's see. Side.
And was it a shot?
It's like it was in a martini glass and it was kind of orange. It's strong.
Let's see. Sidecar drink. What did we do before we had the internet? So it's like Grand Marnier, I think.
We
in
knew
it?
things.
Yeah, we just
So we
knew
just
it.
guessed.
We
We
just
just
Or
don't
you
know
by word of
today.
mouth.
So was it a shot? They say
No,
sidecar.
it was a drink.
Cognac, orange liqueur, like Cointreau.
Control. Or however you
Yes.
say it.
Grand Marnier, dry. I can't say this. Or triple sec plus lemon juice. Y'all not gonna play me. You ain't gonna, it's just a lot of shit in it, okay? And it's a brown drink. Y'all ain't gonna play me. All right. So you didn't enjoy it? You will not be
It
having
was
any more
alright, but
sidecars?
I wouldn't have ordered it. I would never order again for myself. I'd say.
As long as it's free. As long as it's free.
As long as it's free.
I'll give it
I'm
away.
with you.
You give it away, give it away, give it away.
I'm not a big Henny person.
No.
But it had other things in there. That's weird that it didn't taste good.
I won't say it was all right. It wasn't my favorite.
I feel like for me, Henny is what I have when I'm in like urban situations, like the strip club,
Mm.
certain clubs.
You gotta
Like
be
it
in
just
the
feels
hood.
like Henny. Yeah, I feel like Henny captures the essence of the moment. I couldn't imagine like being somewhere fancy and being like, oh, having Henny and Coke or whatever you have.
Yeah,
Henny with.
no.
Like it's
Mm-mm.
always Henny and some ass in my face. It's just
For certain situations.
It's just for certain situations. No disrespect
That's
to the
why
Henny
you
brand.
have the ass in your face, because you're drinking Henny, probably.
Yeah, anything is possible.
It sets you up for that type of behavior.
Listen, I'm trying to tell you, and that's no disrespect to Henny. I love the Hennessy experience, and I have a number of Hennessy like shirts. I DJ'd a number of events where Hennessy was like the sponsor, and it was a great time. And I'm just saying, like,
And everybody
Right.
had an ass in their face, I'm sure.
no, it was like legit events. But I'm just saying now, 2023, 2024, I think the last few times I've been in places I've had Henny, yes, it was ass in my face, and it was great. It was just awesome. It was just the experience I want to have.
Mm.
So yeah, it's just
There was no ass in my face in my experience with the sideburns.
Neither with mine.
Maybe you would have liked it more. Maybe you'd have liked it more if it was a little ass in your face.
Okay.
I mean, it could be a man's ass, right?
That's true.
Yeah, why? Come on.
I'm with that.
I'm not trying to, Lord. There
Roll
you
the
go,
dice.
discernment. All right. So we do this thing here on the Culture Misfits where we want to help your relationship out. So we have some sex dice, which apparently these reels trigger all kinds of Instagram things. That's sexual content. But what we're going to do is we're going to roll the dice. Each of us is going to roll the dice twice. One for you to do whatever the dice say, and then the other for your partner. And then please report back to us. Let us know how it went down. Did more things happen, whatever. Or if you don't want to share, that's fine. Be selfish. But it would be nice to be shared. So I'm going to roll the dice first. Elsa's lost. She's like, what's happening? All right. So below the waist, eat below the waist is what you should do with your partner.
God,
to your partner. Hey, and now this is what your partner should do to you. Ooh. Kiss above the waist. Oh, that's sweet. That's romantic. I guess it could be like nipples too, right? Kiss, but lips above the waist. Okay, Elsa. 2 times.
Oh, so we all take a turn.
Well, we want to give people, the opportunity.
That's it. What else is there to do?
Okay, so we're going to eat the ear. This dye in the ear, man. Like, I don't know.
I don't know about that one.
And look at you. All right. There's the ear again. Lick ear. That's pretty tame.
Okay.
That's pretty tame. All right. I'm saying some people aren't into oral sex. They don't like it. All right. Suck the question. So you get to suck.
Whatever you want.
Yeah. Yeah. Make it good. Make it count.
I like these dice.
Yeah. That's fun. Right. All right. Squeeze below the waist. Well, what do we want? How?
Squeeze your ass. Or your thighs.
I guess. All right. So there are your 6 things. I hope you do them. I hope you have fun.
I am.
You gonna do them?
Yeah. Just go find somebody. I want to do the first one.
Let me go find somebody.
She's properly motivated, and that's what the dice is for. That is the dice.
That's fun.
I mean, like, have you ever found yourself like with a new person and you're not even sure creatively what to do? Like, you don't want to do the same old. Like, you just kind of like. I know. I
spice it up.
Spice it up.
Now, we're not first time around.
I'm talking about the second time around.
Second or third, yeah.
And maybe you should the first time around. Maybe you need to do things differently to have different outcomes. You've been doing the same shit all your life and you don't like the outcome. So maybe you should.
Probably. Some people are so lame.
I know.
Intimately. God, people can be really boring.
Well, because we live in this patriarchal Christian culture that like poo-poos all the fun. All the fun.
Not poo-poos.
Poo-poo. Not dated, but I dealt with this girl who, like, she wouldn't kiss me after oral sex.
Really?
Yeah. She was like, if you go down, I mean, you can't kiss me anymore.
I would have just walked out. Like, I'm out.
I feel like you need to grow up just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Yeah. So, I mean, people have their, they have their thing. So,
yeah, a friend of mine told me that his sister-in-law doesn't masturbate because she feels like you shouldn't do it to yourself. Someone else should do it to you.
She doesn't. Yeah.
She truly believes that, or that's just a preference?
That's her belief.
That's what she was taught to believe.
Mm-hmm. You don't do it to yourself. Your partner can do it because her husband passed away and all that stuff. But till she finds a partner.
Ooh.
And I was like,
see, and she's gonna be the one making shitty decisions. She's gonna get corny to the point where it's just like, if they breathing and moving.
Oh my God.
If they breathing and moving, it's going down because I can't. Yeah,
It amazes me there's people like that.
Well, the girl I just met, and she's very sexual, very like kind of like leaving me in the dust, and she doesn't masturbate. And I'm like, and I explained it to her. I'm like, that's how you figure out what really makes you feel good. So, then you can give instructions like, yes, touch me there, rub me here, slow down. But people have hangups about masturbation. So
interesting.
Clearly, you don't.
No, I don't.
And Rell doesn't. Do you not? Do either of you have roses? Do you own a rose?
No, I like the one I have. I have
Old Faithful?
Yes, I'm not.
Old Faithful?
Yeah, I'm not leaving.
Would you mind? What kind is it? Like
it's called Tracy's dog.
Tracy, what's it, Tracy's dog?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta look this up.
It's a what?
It's like that's what it's called. Tracy's dog.
Is it battery or corded?
Corded.
Oh, smart.
Yeah, so it gets charged.
that is the worst. Like right before, like I was almost there. Damn it! Oh, Tracy's dog.
It's a brand.
Also, there's multiple versions. So, what iteration of Tracy's dog do you have? Is it a wand? Is it a dildo style?
It's both. It's the one that's, you know what I mean, like curved. Looks like a U shape. So so you can do both stimulation, internal and external.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
I stay there.
Fancy.
Though I see a lot of the others, don't want
that
to.
one.
Mm-mm.
That sounds like some lazy shit. You just insert and just lay there. Like,
basically. That's all I need to do.
Put your hands
Don't
back
need to
behind
do
your
any
hands.
work.
Like, yeah, doggy. That's nice. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on. So today, like with we're past Valentine's Day and we're seeing I know personally I'm seeing all these clips about people and their relationships and what they expect and what is important to them, which a lot of it seems like a lot of bullshit. Like it really does. It seems like people have very unrealistic expectations of their relationship, right? So I thought we could go into that because I feel like y'all are very rational, reasonable women. And the world can learn a lot from your reasonableness and your rationality. Or maybe not. The way you're looking at me, Elsa, I'm feeling like
I'm thinking.
you're processing. So when the last time you were in a relationship, what were some of the expectations that you had for your significant other that you felt like were really healthy? Like just
So for me, it's definitely we have to talk. We have to, talk on the phone. Like I don't want to text. I don't have the. So we have to have some conversations on the phone or in person. And time and attention. I want some time and I want some of your attention. That's usually my minimum.
Okay.
So I don't ask for too much, but it's substance because it's not about quantity. It is about quality. We can go to, Starbucks or whatever, or a coffee shop and spend 30 minutes, right? But that is substantial versus you texting me for 10 minutes. I may want the face-to-face 30 instead.
Okay. But what if they're a phenomenal texter? Like they're really good words.
But see, I'm not good.
Okay.
So if you have a conversation with me, I'm going to read it and say, okay. And I'm not going to get into it. Number one, I don't want to write so much and I don't want to think about it.
Voice to text.
Yeah, see, I don't do that. So I'm always hey, good. Oh, got it. Gotcha.
I know, man.
So one of my expectations is for my partner to know what their love language is, right? So there's a difference between what comes easy to you to show love, but there's a difference between knowing what your love language is and how you like to receive love, because I feel like that's where the disconnect is a lot, right?
Good point.
So catering to my love language, but also you being truthful about what your love language is so that I can in turn do that or be aware of it. So for me, words of affirmation does nothing for me, right? It's the lowest on my
Oh, really? Wow.
And so it's very hard for me to show, I won't say hard for me, but it's something that I have to bring to mind. Like, I'm here with you. You should know that I love you, kind of a thing. It's not organic, or it's not my first reaction to tell you. But if I find that my partner, that's their love language, I have to work at it. So being aware of how your partner likes to receive love, I think is important.
That is very important.
Okay. All right.
So for you, can't text Elsa because that's not going to do anything for her, right? You like that face-to-face time, and that's going to have more of an impact than just over the phone.
So what if the person you're dealing with, their love language, like texting is their turn on? How do you work? Like, what would you do?
So you mean like flirting through text?
Everything. Like they have social anxiety. Like, I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I just don't want to talk on the phone. Like, it takes me effort to pick up the phone. And like the first 5 minutes of the conversation, I'm uncomfortable because I'm just so not used to talking on the phone. I used to talk on the phone all the time, like, but now, like I had to make it a point to start calling people. And it's so bad. I had to, at the beginning of the phone call, I'm like, listen, I'm trying to do better in life. And that's why I'm calling you. So, hi, how are you? Seriously, because I've gotten so accustomed to just shooting, like texting. I have one friend where we just do voice notes back and forth. We have whole conversations where
I can do that. I can do
voice notes.
Yeah, because
I can totally do the voice notes.
Yeah, because the voice notes are nice because you get the full context of I had a whole argument with a girl over texting, over a misunderstanding. She completely misunderstood what I meant with what, like the words. I guess the tone she heard in my words was different than the tone I was giving. And she's kind of an asshole. So she just shut the conversation down as I'm like, no, that's not what I meant. I promise you, I just meant that in the best way possible. So in a voice note, it's hard to for that to happen because you hear my tone, you hear the cadence of everything. So, but there are people that they just don't want to be on. Like texting, it works for them. They feel comfortable. What would you do?
I would do the voice note. So if you text me, I'm going to respond in a voice note because I don't want to text that much.
Okay. I'm gonna need for you to learn how to use that voice to text because that shit is.
I don't do that.
Why not? Oh, because you have a Droid. I forgot. It's not so smooth.
I feel like when you're dating people who are younger, texting is more of like the in thing. But when you start dating people who are older, they like to talk on the phone.
Oh, that's not my experience.
That's my experience, and I've had to make the adjustment to like talking on the phone.
I agree with her.
Because now I'm talking on the phone a lot, and I'm like,
this is crazy, right?
On the phone so much in my life.
That's because you're dealing with older people,
right?
No, but I've met a number of younger women. They don't want to text. Like they want to talk. It's like they're starting over. Like the cycle has reverted. I'm like, I'd rather just talk. And I'm like, really?
But how about expectations that are a little bit like deeper too? Because there has to be expectations of, I like transparency and, vulnerability too. You have to tell me stuff. Sometimes in text, you can't tell me stuff. You can't be transparent with me. But in a conversation, you can be. You could say, hey, you know what? I have, really for me, trusting is really hard because da-da-da-da-da-da. We have to make room for those types of conversations too.
Absolutely.
Because that's how you really get to know people.
Yeah,
and we come with some baggage, right? The longer you live, the more baggage you've accumulated. And we have to know people's baggage and we have to be able to discern, even though I'm not great with that. But you have to be able to understand, like, who is this person in front of me? What is their baggage and what are they carrying? Because that baggage is going to become part of my baggage.
Right.
Yeah, I can communicate all that through back.
No, not I don't think it's effectively.
No, yeah.
Or like even.
But
I'm
I
not
like
going to pour my whole life out. I'm not going to pour my whole life out to you through text. It's not real. Or it's not real, but
No. So the reason why I am a fan of that, well, first of all, because I write. And so I enjoy writing and I love words and whatnot. But what I really love about messages is their letters. And what they allow for people to do is if you're able to capture the communicate the context and the tone and all that, it gives them time to process and really take it in and evaluate and think about their response before they actually send it. Versus when you're having a conversation, people hear the first thing that you say and they're formulating their response to that. And they're not really listening to everything else that you're saying. And then they're responding. So that's why I'm a fan of like, I will shoot iMessage and mine should be long. It'll be paragraph. But
Jesus.
Well,
you could have said that in 1 minute on the phone.
And it's 1 minute on a text, unless you're a slow reader. Like I am definitely like who reads like that? You should be able to read at a normal speed. Hell, you can have Siri read the iMessage. What did they say? And she'll read it, and it'll be the same minute.
Android.
Brandon said,
"Yes, exactly." But I mean, we all have different styles.
Some of us are auditory learners, right? So not everybody is visual. Sometimes you can read something and it's up until my interpretation where you could have meant it differently. Maybe there was some emotion to it.
Yeah.
Or you
That's
give me
what those emojis are for.
No, but you give me the opportunity to say, hey, you just said at the beginning, da 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 da. Can you tell me more about that? You don't give me that opportunity in a text because I don't even want a text. Like,
well, that's because you just have text hatred.
I do. But in a conversation, I can say, yo, how did that experience go in the club that day? Versus if you would have texted me, I would have been like, oh, he went to the club. Okay, cool.
Well, so the problem I'm picking up is not that a person's communication through text is lacking. What's lacking is your willingness and patience to actually read the text and engage.
Very true.
So you need to work the fuck on that. About text.
Let's even go from there, right? So with my work, I can't always be on my phone. A lot of the times, like, you're not going to hear from me from 7:30 to 5:30. You're just not going to hear from me, right? And you have to be okay with that. Like, it's going to be hard for me if I get with someone who needs check-ins through the day, right? There's just going to be...
That's annoying.
That is
But
annoying.
there's some people who need that.
They need therapy.
No.
I can go days without texting or calling you.
Well, you need therapy as well. No.
One of my relationships to the issue was like me communicating. And like, I take that, I receive that, but like, I'm at work or like
every
I'm
single day
talking
I
to
do the
someone
same
every
thing.
day.
Well,
yeah.
But and the reason why I said a person like that may need therapy is because I feel like check-ins is an insecurity. Like, you're not feeling secure about the relationship, right? And it's not because if those check-ins aren't involving quality communication and it's just literally that you're just tapping them on the shoulder like, yeah, I'm here, then that's validation that they need to make sure everything is cool and everything is all right. The people that I have the sturdiest relationships with, yeah, we can go days, we can go weeks, we can go months, right? And just pick back up because depending upon the nature of the relationship. Not a romantic relationship.
We need to be having sex more often, and we're going to be talking when we have sex. So I don't know what you're going to...
Somebody sounds back up. Because I've been talking about sex.
Because he's feeling good right now.
No, because of his little friend.
My little friend. But no, but I mean, just in general, when I feel secure in a relationship, I don't need to hear from the person like clockwork.
Yeah, I agree.
In every relationship that I had where I had a person that required check-ins, they were insecure. They didn't feel confident in a relationship. And it just like, so yeah, it's... And
it was hard for me because I'm not that type of person. Like, I don't need to check in. And then when I first started my career, right, I was on the phone with people all day. So the last thing that I wanted to do was be on the phone when I got off. Right? I just wanted quiet, just listen to some music, you know. But no, I'm in a relationship. I got to check in.
No, you don't. You're in a relationship with the wrong ass person. That's what it is.
And then that's a part of the reason it didn't work out.
Well, like, so talking about like setting healthy boundaries, right? Because boundaries is the key word, the new word for 2023, 2024. And half you motherfuckers is using it wrong. I'm setting boundaries. It's like, no, you're not setting boundaries.
It's like they're overusing it, like narcissists.
Yeah,
or gaslighting.
Yeah, like, what is one of your boundaries? What do you do? Do you have? Well, first, before you get in your boundaries, I feel like boundaries and expectations, all those things, should be fluid and really contingent upon the person you're dealing with. Like, if you have the same boundaries and expectations for every person, like no matter who it is, that's very unfair because not everybody has the ability to meet those challenges. You know, like, so if you're dating someone who does not make the same kind of money that you make, but you have expectations for them to take you to a 4 to 5 star restaurant every time, because that's your expectation. That's not fair to the person who can't afford to do that. Like,
your expectations are going to have to change.
Right. If you really love the person, right? And I feel like people don't do that. Like, they have their expectations and like, I'm like, all right, well, that's cool if you meet people who can meet those expectations. But what happens when you meet that person that you really vibe with, but they don't have maybe the financial means, or they don't have the job flexibility, or they, you know, or they're not athletic and you like to hike and stuff and blah, blah, blah. Like, what happens then? What do you do?
I mean, you either if you want to be with that person, you have to adjust. You have to be flexible. You can't have expectations that are rigid either, depending on, you know, our lifestyle, who we are, like you said, our profession. Like you just couldn't check in. Like, if that's an expectation of mine, either I'm gonna have to be flexible, or I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to
find someone else.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah. So yes, so to start with that, and I had to get that out because I really do like these videos. People, and it's women.
But when you say boundaries, what are you talking about? Because boundaries, I'm thinking of, like a boundary could be, let's say, for instance, this friend, and we go to the club next month together. A boundary can be like, I prefer that you go to the club with me, or with.
It's not a boundary.
What is that
then what is that? Is that an expectation?
That's a rule.
A rule is a boundary.
No. Rules operate within certain boundaries.
Rules set the boundaries.
So to speak. I'm thinking.
Isn't that like the speed limit? The speed limit is a rule that gives us the boundary of not going over 65 on this highway.
So a boundary would be, this is so hard, and this is why people mess it up. Don't call me. This sounds like a rule, but like, damn, what's a good boundary? I don't even know.
So boundaries are like
okay, boundary, yes.
I've been cheated on in the past, and I would like for you to tell me, like you have this insecurity. I've been cheated on in the past, and say like I don't know,
like what's cheating? What does cheating mean to you?
Right.
Or let me explain to you what cheating means to me, and then I don't want you to do these things. So I don't want you to. If you are still in contact with certain exes on social media, I would like you to unfriend them or block them. Isn't that a boundary?
That's a boundary. Yeah, that's a boundary, and that's the end of our relationship. That's the end of our relationship.
That gives that person access, right? Because and we would have to be in a committed, like we're in a committed, going down towards committed.
And that would be the end of the commitment.
All right, so
Brandon, why?
Why? Because that's your insecurity. If I haven't done anything to lead you to believe that I'm not trustworthy, that I would cheat and all that, because a lot of times when people, in my personal experience, when I've dealt with people who had those kind of expectations, it was because the person before me or some person in their past had done this. So now they are protecting themselves from this happening again. My thing is, I don't operate that way. I don't roll that way. And now you are isolating me. You were like, I can see you be like, yo, don't be hanging out or whatever. Like, I'm not going to hang out with my exes and all that stuff unless I introduce my exes to you. And it's all a family thing. Like, it's like, hey, these are my friends because we have legitimate friendships. There's no romantic physical attraction. These are people.
But in this day and age,
no.
But you haven't said that because you're saying like, oh, I'm not hanging out with my exes. There's a lot of people who hang out with their exes.
They have, but
or people they've messed with.
Right. But if you're not messing around, and if I'm not cheating on you,
how do they know that?
How do you know that?
You got to trust. And if you don't trust me, we don't need to be together. Just like if I don't
trust, it's like I just don't know.
Right.
So the only way to know is to talk about it and ask.
Yes, but if you're like, yo, you can't, I don't want you dealing with your exes. I want you to unfriend them. I want you to, what you were doing.
Too far when you go to that point.
I mean, it's a boundary.
Yeah, it's a boundary that I'm going to stomp all over as I'm walking out because if I have to set up boundaries to make sure you do what you're supposed to do in terms of honoring our relationship, then that means I don't trust you. And if I don't trust you, then we don't need to be together. Or if you don't trust me. If there's no trust, there's no us.
Well, I agree with that.
Yeah, but trust is such.
Yeah,
it is such this. It's this. We overuse it. We don't know how to respect that word. And I know, you know how many people come into my office telling me things, and and their partner doesn't know, and they're using me as like, I need to get this off my chest.
Yeah,
do you know
that's your job?
How? And people are like, no, I'm happy. Like, she's just this, but on the side, I like to, and I like to have fun when I travel. And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So even with that, there's nothing that person's spouse could have done to prevent that.
No.
So why even waste the energy or waste the time? Why even set up no.
But it's because you don't want to feel the hurt once it's done, because it's happening. I'm sorry. It does happen. The happiest people are in somebody's inbox. Yo, what's up, big head?
I know they're in my inbox.
Okay.
Yes, they're in my inbox.
WYD.
Right. But so it doesn't matter. Right. So you set up these boundaries. If a person's going to do you dirty, they are going to do you dirty. Never in the history of boundaries, rules, expectations has that prevented somebody from doing right. So all you're doing is adding to your anger, because it's like, we sat down and made these rules and you stepped on it. Nah, like, No.
So with or without rules, people are still going to do whatever they want to do. So then what's the point?
So no, the point is find your person, your real person, the person that gets you excited, that you vibe with, that they have your attention and you have theirs, and it just naturally flows.
And it's still conditional.
No, but it naturally flows most likely because you guys have the same thought processes about what boundaries are.
Yes, because they're my person.
Okay, well, let's get started on this. So,
Lord,
that's a long introduction.
Would it be appropriate to accept a drink from another at a bar in your relationship?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Have fun.
Yeah,
save me $8, $9, $15, $20, depending upon the place. Go ahead.
Buy me a couple of drinks.
So a lot of people, when this question was posed, said no.
Yeah, I know.
Because they're saying that you accepting a drink, like say you have your fiance at home and you go out with your girls and you accept a drink, right? You're opening up for possibilities.
Accepting a drink.
Yeah.
Opening up to possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because a drink can lead to conversation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
A drink could lead to conversation. But how about if at that conversation, if that person approaches me, it's like, sorry.
Exactly.
Or I'm with someone. Oh, but you would have seen it anyway. But if it was a fiance, but if it's not, be like, I am in a relationship, but thank you so much for my drink. I really appreciate it. That was very nice of you.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with it. It's again, people are insecure. First of all, relationships, the way we work them and see them and think of them are from patriarchal ownership bullshit. That's it. We think we get into a relationship and now this person's my property. And my property is mine and I don't want anybody to take it. I don't want any threats or anything like that. We expect for people to lose their autonomy. And that's why relationships don't work, because you can only be locked down for so long before you get to the point where you're like, I need a little air. Not that you need to be running the streets or anything, but listen, somebody coming up and buying you a drink because they think you're attractive, that's a boost to your ego.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody needs to know.
It's going to happen.
Yeah. You need to, you need to have.
It's going to happen to him and her. And
hopefully,
to her.
Yeah. So, and if this happens and you come back and you tell me about it, that's even better. Like, because that shows that you're really on the up and up. Again, if we have to lock you down in order to trust you, for you to do what you're supposed to do, then we don't need to be together.
And I agree with that. So that's my take too. I'm like, why? I'm like, what? Same thing. I'm like, what doors is this going to open up? Like, I can hear what you're saying, but you should trust me enough to be like, that's all that's going to happen. It's just, it's just going to be a drink. It's not going to be anything more.
But let me devil's advocate, because that's fun. Why, bitch, you need to be taking other people's drinks from other people? Is my money not good enough to buy your own drink?
First of all, it was my money.
Well, the money that you earned that you gave to me to then go back out and buy your drink. Why is it that you need to accept the drink? Why? You supposed to be out with your girls.
It's rude.
What's rude is me being home with these goddamn ugly kids and you out here with your girls having drinks bought by the men. That's what's rude. That's what's rude. What about my drinks from people? Elsa?
Oh, yeah. No, you get drinks. I'm pretty sure you get food, drinks, and trips.
All the things. No, but like, why are you accepting drinks from somebody you're not interested in?
Sometimes you don't. So a lot of the times I don't even know who the drink is from.
Oh, that's scary.
No, it's not.
Did you see the drink get made?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm very safe. Thank you.
But.
So it has nothing to do with like, yes, I know it's from someone, right? And they're like, okay, what were you drinking? This person's buying you a drink. So it didn't even matter. Like,
So I have other questions. So why don't you find out you're single? See, I wonder why somebody's single. You're getting drinks sent to you. You're drinking a drink and you don't ever think to like figure out.
No, it's not that I don't figure out. Sometimes they make themselves known. Sometimes they don't.
For the ones that don't make themselves known, they sit in the corner.
Like, hey, they're probably married. They're probably married.
You have to ask the person bringing you the drink.
Yes, sometimes.
I'm gonna need for you to get on your shit. And when somebody sent you the drink,
right? I'm enjoying it.
But the person, your person could have already sent you that drink, and you didn't even.
So they're too scared to come to talk to me.
Well, I feel like if I send you a drink, then the least you can do is wave or acknowledge or thing. Like, so I gotta buy you a drink, and then I gotta get up and go, you know that grandma? Yeah, God, that was me, right? No. Yeah, you're wrong. And just own it. You're wrong. Somebody sends you a drink. 50 Figure out who sent you the drink.
At first, I'm saying like at first you don't know, and then after you can find out. And they say thank you.
But if you're in a relationship, these people didn't feel like that was the right thing to do. Right. So is that so if you're dating someone, is that a good conversation to have to establish a boundary? Like, hey, when you go out to boys' nights or when you go out to girls' nights, if I prefer that if someone extends an invitation for a drink or whatever, that you decline it. Is that a boundary then?
That question is giving me crazy anxiety.
Like even so the bar that I go to, like I know the bartender, right? So she's like, someone bought you a drink, what do you drink? You want me to make you what? Or do you want something else? Right. And you can be like, I'm like, oh, who did it? And she'll tell me who bought it for me. So I'm supposed to be like, no, Tracy, I don't want it.
Yeah. Not what
you could definitely do that.
Yeah.
If you're in a relationship.
No,
I'm not with kids.
But that would be a boundary.
Yeah, I'm setting that boundary. I don't want you accepting no drink from no other man, no other woman, no other entity, nothing.
And you think that's okay?
Yep, because that's a boundary I'm setting.
And you can be fine with it because your girl or your man is going to accept it regardless.
But how about when somebody in front of you pays for your thing at Starbucks or at Chick-fil-A? That's happened to me.
Yeah, pay it forward.
That's nice. I can't reject that. I'm taking my food.
You paid for the person behind you.
Yes, I can do that.
Yeah,
I'm paying my food.
Because if I find out you got free Chick-fil-A, you out here flirting. What were you doing to bring attention to yourself?
And nothing. As a woman, I'm sure men too. You don't have to do anything.
No,
literally just out with my friends.
Smile or interact with your friends.
Yeah.
So you just out there smiling. You're happy because you're not around me. No. Honestly, I'm done advocating for the devil. No, I don't think that it's a problem. And I think those things actually add to the spice of life. And I feel like no matter how long you've been in a relationship, we all need to have moments where our attractiveness is validated by somebody who doesn't have to. Our partners have to validate how our look, but when a stranger does it, it just feels good.
It does feel good.
It does. Yeah.
It does.
And I'm going to accept the drink. Now, nobody needs to know.
I'm accepting the drink, and I'm telling you, I'm not going to hide it from you.
Well, so boundaries, because I'm still like, we started to go into it, and then I realized, like, damn, I feel like I don't have a full grasp of boundaries. And like, so when you're talking to a client and you're talking about establishing boundaries, what are you thinking? Like, what is it in mind?
So boundaries are anything that would, so the way I think about it and the way I talk about it is things that you feel would jeopardize your connection or your trust. So if there's something that you do or that has been done in the past, sometimes you have to establish a boundary because if you haven't healed from it, remember, we don't heal in a vacuum. Even though you said, yes, there is baggage we bring in. If somebody did something in the past, a previous person, and then you and I can only heal with being with you because you're going to move differently and you're going to show me that you are different.
Right.
But I can't heal by myself in that area because you would have to trigger it. I would have to then kind of process it and then I'd have to heal from it because I'm like, you know what? But he's so different than such and such. That's how we heal.
Right.
We have to heal also with other people because iron does sharpen iron.
Right. Thank you for saying iron and not steel. Maybe steel sharpens steel. It's like iron sharpens iron.
No, it's iron.
I know, but people fuck it up. One of those things. All right. So I just thought of a boundary. It's like a boundary is when we're arguing, please do not throw plates or yell at me. That would be a boundary, right?
Yeah. And it's a limit. So your boundary is your limit, right?
Yeah.
So when you go out, I allow you to go. I allow you. So you're allowed to go out, right? You're allowed to drink as much as you want. You can go out with your girls, if they're single or if they're not. But just don't accept drinks from anyone. That would be the boundary. That for me, that's like sure on the boundary list. But
have you had any? Do you feel like have you ever had boundaries that you've given out or dealing with somebody that had a boundary that you were like, that's not going to work for me?
I feel like people say that to me more than I say to them. And I think it's because I'm not a jealous person. It takes a lot for me to be jealous. My boundary would be like, don't kiss anybody.
Oh shit.
I hope not.
But so this brings me to my second scenario. Okay. You go out to like salsa night or just go out. Right. do you think it's appropriate to dance with someone who's in a relationship? Or can you dance if you are in a relationship?
Hell yeah.
I hope so.
Dance.
There's people who think it's not appropriate.
Again.
So if I'm in a relationship, let's say we're in a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
if I go out to a club with my friends,
Mm-hmm.
I have to dance only with them. And if somebody comes and says, hey, can I have this dance? I have to decline.
Correct.
Because, and it's just a dance.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
There's some people that think it's very sexual.
Yeah, what if it's a lambada?
People don't dance to lambada. First of all, that's so old.
But they think it's too sexual, and that's their boundary.
Yeah.
But for me, it's cultural. Like, you can dance with anybody.
Oh my goodness, that's how we grew up.
Yeah.
Well, it's how you dance also. I mean,
So what's your boundary for dancing?
keep your nipples in the dress. Like, don't. Listen, I'm not a territorial person. And that's just where I'm at right now. So do what you want. Like, just
Maybe it's
fun.
age.
Yeah.
Maybe this is also age related. Maybe some of the people who responded are more in the younger side.
It's not
No,
age related. It's not. I
No.
don't believe it's age related. I believe it's how a person feels about their relationship and how much ownership and control they feel like they should have over that person and
I don't
they have
think you
over
should
them.
have any.
Right. That's so. And for my perspective is based on the idea that I've gone to these clubs and I've seen couples split up and do all kinds of crazy things with other people. And then after it's done, come back to each other, high five each other.
That's
kiss,
my boundary.
hug. No, but
Thank you.
No, but I mean, yeah, I mean, it's extreme, but it's like to them, their relationship, at least in that moment, seems very solid because there's no insecurity. Like they're not worried. They're not worried about their partner going off and doing anything that is going to cause them to not want to come back to them.
But even in that extreme example, right? They have set their boundaries. There's been a conversation.
Something,
right?
yeah.
Because even the couple that was in the lifestyle that we interviewed, right? They have their whole list of their boundaries, right? Like, so we interviewed a couple that are swingers, and they even have down to like what the woman that they have fun with looks like and what she can't look like.
She can't be attractive. Originally, they couldn't pick attractive people for each other. They had to be ugly.
I'm out.
Right.
but that was one of their boundaries, right? So I think every relationship has a boundary, and I think it's necessary to have that. So that
you have. I mean, that's by virtue of a relationship. And once you commit yourself to somebody, like you are creating boundaries. You are creating whatever those boundaries are. Whether it can be very extreme or very conservative or very liberal. Like it just depends on the two of you. My point is with my example is that I feel like it's like if you have a dog, a pet dog, right? If you know the dog is always going to come back, how stressed are you about the dog running out the front door and not coming back? Like,
no, not that stressed.
Yeah, because they're going to come back, right? Versus the dog that doesn't ever come back. Like, and that is because you are confident that the dog is going to come back.
Well, only because the dog has shown me in previous moments that he has escaped that they will come back.
But what that dog doing when they out there?
I don't know. But like I said, man, I've dealt with women casually who, they had dudes and dude had tracker, wanted all that thing, and they figured out how to overcome every.
Oh, when there's a will, there's a way.
Right. So it's like you're just wasting your time and energy.
But I feel like that's not even a good that's not a healthy relationship, because if I have to do all of that, put a tracker in your car and stuff, why am I with you? There's no.
I know.
You're not stressing me, okay?
That's why I don't like these location things that people share.
No, you're not. You don't believe in sharing your location?
I'm not going to share my location. I don't want to know your location, because I do believe that things like that heighten our anxiety, right? So we're already an anxious society with anxiety about bills, anxiety about this. Why add to it by doing stuff like that? Because now we're going to be checking. Wait, I don't know that address. What do you mean? 660?
But why are you tracking? But I think people are like, if I have someone's location, I'm not tracking it like that.
No. You may not be, but some people out here Where the
the
check-in
other-
people.
but-
Okay,
Yeah.
But the other
true.
side of that is, if you're not doing anything, then what? You can know every damn address I go to because it doesn't matter. I'm not doing anything. That's
Yeah, but
that's my
how about
point.
if I get a WYD text and I just be like, yo, you want to go out for coffee real quick?
Turn off your location, girl.
No,
And that
because
shit-
then that's gonna create
Check
issues.
your-
Wait, I went and checked. Why you turn off your location?
Yeah,
Immediately.
we gonna fight
It's a
tonight.
We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight.
Nah, it's all too much. It's all too
I
much.
don't want you. I don't want to know where you're at, and you're not gonna know where I'm at. Period.
Wow. Do you know how many lives
I
have been saved?
I have never shared my location. Only location I want to know is my kids. And now that they're older, I'm good.
Mm.
And I do the 360 with them.
I feel like Elsa be running these.
Yeah, she's a grown woman.
Yeah, I feel like that's why you don't want no tracking. You don't want no. She don't want no tracking.
I'm fine with the tracking.
I don't have a problem with it.
I don't even like people. I even take off on social media so you won't see when I'm on. I don't even like that.
I don't like that either.
So I turn off my active status, right? So you don't have to see my little green dot.
Mm.
Because then it's like, well, if you were on social media, why didn't you text me? Yeah, no, we're not having this conversation.
Mhm.
That's a boundary of mine. We're not. If I have to have that conversation, I'm done.
I take the red receipts off of my texts. Like,
Oh.
you get to you.
Right? Thank you.
I
The
do
reason
mine
why, like, I could have opened your text and I couldn't respond at that moment.
Exactly. I read it. I saw it. I don't have exactly.
Mhm.
I love leaving mine on because I want you to know
Nah,
I left on
don't.
red.
So petty.
Yeah, a little bit. But no, you can dance. But I understand. I understand why people could have an issue with dancing because there's chemistry there. It is a level close to sexual activity, especially if like they dancing so well together. You're like, oh shit,
That's
like
the
she
fun
done-
part of it.
I know, but listen, I've seen like I've been to Latin night and I see like the woman shows up with her dude and he can barely keep it together, and then this homely ass dude is like, "Can I have a dance?" And then they be twirling her and spinning her around, and they just look like magic together.
Mhm.
And her dude's just
Those are
sitting
so
there
beautiful
like
to see.
he's like, so I can understand because it's like if you can dance well with somebody,
Mhm.
you can fuck well together. That's the chemistry. So I get
Good
it.
point. Good
Yeah,
point.
I get it. I get it.
But even that you're saying, right?
Mhm.
You can be in a relationship with someone, but you guys are not going to like everything the same.
No.
You're not going to be able to do everything well the same. And you should have the freedom to go do.
Oh, I agree. I'm just saying I understand. All of these things, all of these scenarios are predicated on a person, on a couple's health. Like how healthy is a
Mhm.
relationship, right?
Mhm.
If you have a healthy relationship and you both are generally happy, you generally trust each other, then none of these scenarios would ever be a problem
Mhm.
because you guys are good. It's only a problem when home isn't happy, right?
Mhm.
That's
And
true.
then everything looks like a potential wedge between you and that person.
Mhm.
And so if your sex life isn't all that great, if your home life is not all that happy, and then you go out and your significant other goes and starts dancing with someone and they're dancing well together and that person's attractive, it is literally like watching them have sex, depending upon the dance, it's having
Yeah.
sex with somebody on the dance floor. And it just begs the question like, damn, why don't we have that chemistry?
Yeah.
Why don't they move that way with me? They look happier. They look really happy in this moment.
You
They
don't
look
know how
like,
to fucking dance.
right.
The
Yeah.
only dance that I would probably have a boundary with is reggae. So now there could be dance types. Because if we're dancing reggae,
You ain't trying to have him do the daggering. You ain't trying to dagger. He's like,
We're a
why
little
is my
bit-
husband up on that speaker like that? What does he get right
so
now?
reggae, I mean, if it's hip hop or R&B or stuff like that, that's, you know what I mean?
What?
But
All the grinding that goes on?
reggae, that's where the grinding is.
Listen, all the dancing.
dance hall.
Unless you're doing a foxtrot, none of this shit, ballroom dancing, none of this shit is innocent or without sexual innuendo. There is
Innuendo, it's not the physical thing. Like, you have nothing to worry about.
I don't know. I listen. All the years I've DJed in the club, watching people. Yeah, no.
I don't like that because that's like, okay, you don't want anyone to be attracted to me. So that's like you telling me that I can go out and don't put on any makeup and don't dress up. People are still gonna look. People are still gonna flirt. People are still gonna.
So what's your job? So what your job is as the attractive person in the relationship is to make sure that you do and say the things that remind your significant other that you are into them. And I think that's where people go wrong. Like, and it's not about you can't make a person feel secure. Like, that's an internal thing. But if you're like, smack him on his ass every once in a while, what's up, baby? You look good, blah. Like, reminding that person reassurance that, like, yo, I'm with you because I find you very attractive. And the rest of the world, like, yeah, there's people out there that are attractive, but when it's all said and done, it's you. I find that a lot of people don't do that. Like, they get together and they forget to, like, yo, sometimes, take it back to before you got together and be a little lustful towards each other.
Yeah, never stop dating.
Never stop dating.
That's true.
So, yeah. Okay. What other scenarios? What else you got?
Alrighty, so Remy Ma was asking Mendici, her husband, my sister is having trouble conceiving. Is it okay for me to give her one of my eggs? And he said, absolutely not. So if your sister needed your egg to conceive a baby, would you allow? Or would you do that?
I would. Yeah. They're egg donors. I mean, first of all, they cost a lot of money. So if you sell
money off the table,
if you sell the eggs, but because you know someone, I have a friend of mine who did that, but not for a family member. For
so we're talking about family member.
I think that would be okay.
So your egg that is now in your sister, right, is technically
your child.
Right? And now your sister's an asshole. And just has totally different parenting style than you ever would have.
Well,
and now you're like watching your sister,
and you have to take the step back.
You're watching your sister discipline your child in ways you would never discipline, subject them to things you would never subject them to. Your child, little Elsa, and little Elsa looks at you like, Auntie Mama, help me.
They don't even know.
They just know. They don't know, but they know. It's like, I feel a drawn attraction to you, like. Yeah.
I mean, I think you would know that your sister was a butthead before you said yes, because it's your sister. So you're going to know that person, and you can, at that moment, you would have to make the decision.
What would you do?
If my sister was a butthead, I'd probably say no. But if we're from the same family and we have the same kind of like outlook and demeanor and all this stuff, still differences, but not a butthead, then I wouldn't say no.
I would carry it. If it was for one of my sisters and I knew that she really wanted a child and she couldn't, I would carry her child. I'd give her my egg. I don't know if I'd carry it for her.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not going to have stretch marks.
What if your sister wanted the sperm of your husband?
No, girl, you're going to have to go to a sperm bank.
But you pick so well. Your mate is perfect.
Nah, that's different.
No? Oh, why is it different?
Because the eggs are more expensive.
Yeah, you can get a sperm. I mean,
but so as a woman of color, right? Black sperm is very hard and expensive to come by. It's very
really.
Rare.
We're just going to look like the rest of our family.
So, what?
I said the baby just going to look like the rest of our family. Join the club, make it more real.
No, I wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't let your husband.
That's weird, right?
Oh, it's not any more weird than the egg.
No, because she's family. So I'm putting family up top. Like, that's my family. I'll do for my family. But he's not your family.
But he's your family. And he's a family resource.
By marriage. He's not blood.
Yeah, but he's a family resource. He's a family he's a good guy. He has good DNA. He's good genes. All the things.
They have a bunch of them at the
sperm bank.
Okay. I see the double standard here.
Yeah. Oh, well.
I see what's happening here.
Because getting the egg, if I tell my sister, no, go to the IVF clinic and get, inseminated and purchase an egg, those eggs are going to be thousands and thousands of dollars.
So here's the thing, right? So for this particular question, this particular scenario, the want to get it from your sister is not about a financial thing at all. Remy Ma can clearly afford to send her sister to the thing, right? It is legitimately the DNA.
They want to keep the blood in the family.
You want to expand you want your DNA to keep going. That's the whole point of it. That is the whole point of you going to a sibling or family member and being like, I want your DNA.
For that?
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's not a financial thing. It's literally, we want this family genes. We want the family tree to grow. And since she can't have a child, I'll get a DNA close representation of my DNA and use that. That's what's going on.
Even for me, if that's the true reason, I'm like questioning like, whether it's my egg or another egg, this baby that you want is still going to be a part of our family.
Yeah, but the good hair and the teeth and the skin and like the whatever genetic perfection they may have, like when you got to think about like things like Alzheimer's and sickle cell and like all the genetic things that can come with other people's DNA, their other people's family. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like,
I hear what you're saying, but if you want to, like, if it's just, I would give my sister an egg if she needed it. Yeah. But if the choice is between, or just because you want it to be in the family, if you want a baby, it has nothing. It's still going to be a part of our family, whether it's genetically, they have our genetics or not. Yeah, but
it's a baby that will look like you, the parent, because if you're sisters and you look similar, then that an egg from you to your sister is more than likely going to look pretty much like what
the family
if she had her own eggs, if she had a baby, that child would look pretty much like what you would expect. Versus you go to a bank and you get it, and this child could look completely different, like just like almost like you adopted the child because they have no family familiarity physically.
But what's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that. At this point, it's about preference. It's about access. I think most people, if they that can't have children or having difficulties, if they have access to a family member where they could get an egg from, if it's a choice between that and just going to a facility, they're going to choose the family member each and every time. But the problem is it gets complicated when now this person is a niece, nephew / son, daughter, so to speak, because of egg. So
yeah.
But we got your answers, and we know y'all ain't giving up your husband's sperm for this. So it's fucked up.
Nope.
Alrighty. So we can start to wrap up. I'm going to read the Am I the Asshole for the evening.
You don't want to
you want to do that one?
I mean, is your man allowed to have a friend of the opposite sex?
Yeah, because I have one.
What about you? Is your man allowed to have a friend of the opposite sex?
Because I have them.
What if she's super hot? Yeah. What if she got all the goods?
So I would ask while we were dating, I'd ask, hey, by any chance, have you ever tap that ass? And hopefully they'd be honest and say, no, strictly friends. But that's a tough one.
No, it's not. And actually, I would prefer if they had already done it. Because if they had already done it, and they still remain friends and it never happened or whatever after that, then that just speaks to like, that's
never
not
is in quotations. You can't never. Come on.
Right.
Like
what?
Never.
Never what?
Okay. So let's say, for instance, we're friends.
Get together.
Elsa and I are friends.
Yeah, we've had, sexual intercourse. We've remained friends. You can't say we only had one or two or a couple. And then after that, we never had it. We either, because if it happened once, it can happen again.
Okay. And if it never happened, it could happen.
Exactly. So you can't,
No, but hear me out. Because
people
you're
be hitting
reacting.
each other up like, what you doing?
But you're reacting. But think about it. If your significant other...
I've been in these situations, that's why.
Okay. If your significant other had a hot friend, and at some point in the past, they did hook up, and then they stopped hooking up, and they still remain friends, and now he's with you, you've met this friend, or whatever, they're around, to me, the temptation is off the table. They already know what's there.
So I make him mad, and then he goes to the friend.
But he would do it anyway.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but I mean, he would do it anyway.
Because I have a really good friend that's a guy, and whoever I end up with just has to put up with him. We do have boundaries that we set. Like he has a girlfriend. I'm not going to call him late at night stuff like that.
Yeah, that's respectful.
Yeah, but just But have you and that friend ever?
No, strictly platonic.
Okay.
We dated one time in like middle school, and he broke up with me. We were like little. This is little. This is we're little. When we were little, he broke up with me at the lunch table in front of everybody, and we became best friends ever since then.
Okay. All right.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Okay, that was innocent. Yes. It's just the way that the conversation went. Because
There was this one time.
Yeah, there's one time at band camp.
Yeah, but no.
Yeah.
that was hilarious.
See?
So I've been in these situations where, you know, I have, and then we've stayed friends, but it's a door that
Oh, yeah, I love that.
Oh, that's unlocked.
It's opportunity, yeah.
And if, hey, what you doing, or something goes on, and you just.
Well, that's more of you not being trustworthy than the friend being a problem.
No, I think it goes both ways.
No, for your relationship.
Well, I'm not in a relationship.
No, but I mean that. Yeah, I know.
Mm.
But so okay, but if it was you in a relationship, if you're in a relationship and the friend and you did it, then that's you not being trustworthy.
I'm the one, but they're
saying,
and I know they are, and they are not being trustworthy.
But here's my point, right? If you like, no matter if there's sexual tension there, and you never did it, if there's ever an opportunity where that could happen. Yeah, exactly. The says it all. Like, I got to. I might never have this happen again. So, but if you've already done it and you've already been there, you already know what's what.
But if it was good,
then why aren't y'all together? So maybe y'all need to just be together.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No, she's not.
There's usually there's a reason why you're not together.
Exactly.
But some people have sexual chemistry, but not life chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But because you have sexual chemistry, and if I know the way you roll personally, you're just not a good partner.
Mm-hmm.
And there are people like that.
I get that. All I'm saying is that once you know what's there, you know how sweet the juice is and all that stuff like that. To me, that's not as much of a threat as for me personally, as it would be somebody that I've never slept with, but I found attractive because that opportunity presented itself. I don't know. I'd be like, man, this might be the only time. Like, I don't know. If I've been there before and I value my partner, then it's like, well, I already know what the pussy's like. This is, it's good. Like, I don't,
I don't know. It's a situation.
It is not situational, but all right. So what is it? What's going on with Am I the asshole?
Alrighty. So am I the asshole for being honest about honeymoon sex? My fiance and I'm 26, he's 28, are taking an 8-day honeymoon in Brazil, which is where he's originally from. This trip has been in the works for a long time. And a few weeks ago, I learned that his parents are hoping to stop by and visit us during our honeymoon. And even asked to stay with us. We have rented a 3-bedroom place near the beach for 2 nights. They want to stay for 2 of the nights. I said, absolutely not. And my husband agreed. He told them no. And that's because we want our privacy. His parents, who have grown very close to me, sent me a separate text asking, in a lighthearted way, I thought, if it was a really big problem and if I agreed with him. And I said, yes, I did agree. His mom asked me why. And I was honest. I said, I want to be able to be open and be free with him without thinking about house guests. She said, so this is about sex? And I thought that she was being lighthearted. So I replied, if I'm being honest, I'm going to fuck his brains out in every room of that house. No response. So this has become a whole thing. My mother-in-law thinks I'm disrespectful. My father-in-law thinks I'm a sex monster of some kind. And my husband thinks it was way too far of me. Am I the asshole? And do I owe them an apology?
Is she Brazilian?
I don't think so. He's from there. She
didn't say. It could be cultural. So from a cultural perspective,
Mm-hmm.
you got there's some ways that you behave from a cultural perspective. But she went too far in that comment.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that saying no was wrong. Because it is your honeymoon. Hey, like when we will come back, right? Because if he's from Brazil, then this is going to be a stop for sure. So in our next trip that we're going to make, we're going to be together anyway. So,
right.
But this is kind of sacred because it is our time to bond. So I think that was fine. The comment though, that comment was a girlfriend comment and not a mother-in-law comment.
Mm-hmm.
Like your mother-in-law is not your girlfriend.
Agreed. And I think that she could have, I would have been like, you already said no. Your mother's texting me again. Can you tell her
Good
no?
one. Good one.
Or she texted me, right? And I said how she answered first, just like a regular no. And then she pushed the issue again. I would have been like, hey, take care of your mom.
Mm-hmm. Good one.
Yeah, she's all the way the asshole.
Mm-hmm.
She's all the way the asshole. Like, you don't say, like, I'm going to fuck his brain out. Like, we all know.
Yeah, it's so inappropriate.
We all know what the honeymoon is all supposed to be about. And I am quite certain that she has fucked his brains out before the honeymoon, the marriage, all through the years.
Very true.
Right? But there's nothing new here. They did not hold back waiting to have sex until they got married. You're in Brazil with family, your new in-laws, you like them. The school thing would have been like, hey, a day. We can give up a day.
They can come and visit,
We
but
can come
not
to
stay
visit,
for
like
2
not
nights.
stay with us. Yeah, we like not stay, but if you
Or let's go out to dinner, or can we meet them over here?
There's something. I mean, I know Brazil is a big country, and who knows how the distance, but I mean, that is just not a good way to begin a marriage.
Coming into the family and it's disrespectful to her husband and the parents and to their relationship. And so, yeah, she's all the way the asshole. It's not cute. And what was dumb was agreeing to do honeymoon in Brazil anyway. Like, I'm not going anywhere that anybody that I know is going to be, because if I want to just be left alone, like if I just want it to be about you and I, I'm not going to Jamaica. But like, we're not going on doing our honeymoon in Jamaica. Yes, we are.
No, the fuck we not.
Yeah, your family's there.
Your family's
They do not have to be where you are.
It doesn't matter.
My family will not ask to be where we are.
I'm not taking any chances. Like, Rell, we heard you're in town for your honeymoon. We're gonna come by. No. We're not even going to the Caribbean. It's not a boat ride. It's nothing. No, we're not going to be within 2 hours of anybody that either of us know. No, right? Because it just, like, if the time is that sacred to you, then why would you put yourselves in the position to even have to tell anybody no? Because now you're hoping that people are going to be smart and aware enough to be like, yo, they need their time. Give them their time and we'll figure it out. So no, she's an asshole.
That is hilarious.
What else?
That's it, y'all.
That was it?
Mm-hmm.
I guess we're just ready to go watch these goddamn Chiefs beat the 49ers and watch another year of Patrick Mahomes State Farm commercials and Andy Reid.
I know, but he's good.
He's
Mahomes
good, but he's an
good.
asshole.
And Andy Reid deserves...
No. Stop. I don't fucks with none of them. Wells like my ears.
Yeah.
So March 1st, we're going to be at the club, PGC.
Oh, March 1st, I'm going to be in New York.
See how this is it?
Let me see if I get back in time. Ooh, it's going to be an exciting day.
With our friend on Friday to March 1st, you'll be back in time. What time is your appointment?
Whenever time he tells me. It's usually 3.
You'll be back in time.
Ooh, and you'll be ready.
You will be dripping.
On the proud.
Dripping. So March 1st, Culture Misfits will be at PGC. It is free. No,
it's not free.
It's less. It's you don't need a membership. So it's $120 for single men, $60 per couple, and I think it's like $25 or something for single. So you have that information. Rell, would you please close us out?
Hey, y'all, make sure that you listen to us or watch us on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And you can find me at Rell Traveling. Elsa, where can they find you?
Elsa Smith 723.
And are you accepting
Elsa 723.
Are you accepting new patients?
Yes.
You have room for new patients? And what would they need to do to avail them of your therapy services?
Call us at 302-276-8483.
And you accept all insurances?
Yes.
How about Groupon's?
No, but we do have a sliding scale.
You do? Okay. So for the people who do not have health insurance and things like that, you guys will work with them because that's important.
That is important.
There's
you got to make it very affordable.
Thank you. And she's a wonderful therapist. So you're welcome. You're absolutely fucking welcome. Gotcha. We're going to loosen you up though. We're going to get you, we're going to separate you from these, I don't want to say it because I'm going to offend people, But yeah, we're gonna loosen you up and we're gonna get you be less judgmental. Ready, get it on, grind it out. Because I feel like if you do that, you're gonna have a much happier life.
Lord,
I don't have a happy life.
You're gonna have a happy life. But you can find me at DJ Silk on Instagram, Threads, Spill, X, DJ Silk on 12 on TikToks, Mixcloud.com. Every Friday, 9 a.m. to 9:20 a.m. You can find me on 88.9 FM for the Soul School Mix with the lovely Erica Kane, Lena J. It's a fun time. And then at 10 a.m., that mix is available on demand. But try to listen to it live. You can live stream it either on the WEAA app or on the website, weaa.org. And, every Monday is also the Soul School Mix on Mixcloud.com, DJ Silk Club. So that's all I got for you. Thank you so very much for spending your time together. Make sure you share, comment, engage with our reels and clips and all that shit. And yeah, is that it? I think I got it right.
Yep. And next time for the Culture Misfits. Bye.
Bye. We out.